this is Justin from the Ironsworn Google Plus group with Lisa.
Hi.
And today we're doing an extended play example that was requested on the Ironsworn Google Plus group. I am playing Fatir, son of Glain, a warrior with a magical sword. And Lisa is playing...
Well, her name's Outcast right now. She is an outcast, obviously, who wields a bow, arrow, an axe, and a dagger. Because she's a badass. And a bit of a dick.
Fatir has the blade-bound path. He carries his father's blood iron sword, Heartrender, which came from the old world. He has the martial focus Shield Bearer, and a hound companion, who is named Fenris. His concept is based kind of around what's his name?
Huh?
The guy from Game of Thrones.
Torment?
Tormund Giantsbane is the inspiration for Fatir. He's a big, bulky Viking type guy with a big, bulky bearskin cloak. It's his most prized possession, except for his sword. Lisa, which assets did you take?
I took Visage, Visage, Ranger, and Outcast. Basically, my character comes from a land not the most Ironsworn, or people of the Iron lands come from. She comes from a small knot of, or group of people that just live on kind of the outskirts along one of the areas where it's not very well known or traveled. And she was sent off on a quest of her own by one of the leaders. And she found herself up north in Fatir's area.
It's Fatir, thank you.
Fatir, whatever.
His name is definitely not Fighter with some letters changed around.
Whatever. But yes, she's outcasted from the village because she likes to cover herself in blood and ash like some kind of freak, and I love it.
So, it's interesting to note that the Ironlands is a kind of an Anglo-Saxon inspired setting. It's specifically mentioned that basically any culture can find a home in the Ironlands, because the old world encompassed every culture, more or less. And Outcast, Lisa's character, is actually inspired by like a voodoo priest, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I am about as just white bread as white bread gets, and Lisa is super weird in this. And I hope that comes through during our play. The goal of our session tonight is to go from swearing a vow to making moves and engaging with the fiction, all the way through to a hopefully successful fulfillment of our vow. But of course, we're going to play to find out. The last time we ran these characters, it did not end well. But that's still in the future for these characters.
I think it ended well.
You think it ended? Yeah,
I think it ended wonderfully.
Forsaking your vow is not how the game's supposed to end.
I didn't forsake my vow.
I did. Anyway. That's all in the future for these characters, because we're playing a bit of a prequel to kind of establish the relationship between our characters in the campaign that we're playing separately. Depending on how this goes, maybe those other episodes will make their way online. We'll see. Okay, so the I guess let's just jump right into it. Our village is located at the very north end of the Ironlands, just south of the Vales. During the winter, the passes fill up with snow and you can't leave. We have miners and trappers who call our village home, mining iron out of the out of the Vales, and trappers who are hunting for furs and things, and they trade them to the havens, which are to the south, which has kind of made this village a more important place than it normally would be given its size. Recently the village has had trouble with bandits attacking caravans, coming and going, travelers, merchants, and it's kind of coming to an end. Fatir's father is the warden of the town, and he was missing for years, and one day they found just his sword stuck in the ground with, you know, some blood. So Fatir's overarching vow is to find out what happened to his father. But for today, we're going to be focusing on a more easily managed vow, which is to deal with a bandit threat that is threatening the village in his father's stead, because the town currently has no warden. You want to help set us up, Lisa?
No, I think you're doing a good job.
Thanks. So help me out here, Lisa. What's the inciting event? Like, what do the bandits do that finally is just too much that we have to do something about it? Specifically, how does it impact you? Because, you know, this isn't really your home.
Well, I guess the obvious answer would be that they are starting to pick off caravan traders. We can't get supplies. We can't get the furs out of the north where they're coming from. Our town's about to die.
Okay, I like this. So we're basically under siege.
Yeah.
Like, we're being starved out because we can't bring in food, because you can't grow anything in the Tempest Hills. It's really crappy land. Whoever decided to move here, bad idea.
Yeah, fuck you. I decided to move here.
Yeah.
Actually, I live on the outskirts of town, so obviously I'm probably getting badgered by them, telling me that I owe them something. They're trying to make me pay to live on my land that I obviously own, because I will fucking fuck you up if you try and take my land.
Okay, so not only are the bandits starving the village, but they're also trying to force you out of your house.
Yes.
Terrible people.
They get the voodoo curse.
The voodoo curse.
I'm gonna spit
go ahead
chicken
and just roll a d100 for me in the Roll20 here. We're gonna figure out what the village is called because we never named it.
D100?
Yep.
59.
59, okay, and roll one more for me. We are rolling on Oracle 7, which is on page 179.
25.
Okay. 59 and 25.
There goes my headset.
Okay. Our town is named after a creature, and it is named specifically after a wolf. The name of our village is Wolf Crag. I almost feel like it says, why have the people of the settlement chosen this creature as their totem? How is it represented in art or rituals? I think it's also probably the name of the pass that leads down out. Like, maybe the village took its name or vice versa, since it's basically the only reason that we...
The pass could be called the Wolf's Jaw.
The Wolf's Jaws. That's nasty. I like it. Okay, great. Yeah. So I imagine, with the wolf's jaws, it's a real narrow, kind of spiky passage that's really hard to get through. So, like, all the bandits have to do is just be there, you know.
Well, and during winter, obviously, it closes and won't open until spring.
Right. I'm assuming that it's trading season now, so it's spring or summer. Just because the bandits wouldn't hang out there and freeze their butts off for that a good reason. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the real issue here is they're just hanging out in the wolf's jaws and waylaying anybody who comes up the mountain.
Don't judge me.
Yeah. So so I can definitely see how I get involved in this. Like, you know, I have to be, because there's no warden, and I feel responsible for, you know, not for my father's absence, but to take on his mantle. Even though I haven't been recognized by anybody to do so. What involves even this? Like, what brings you to town? What brings you to swear on iron that you're going to get rid of these people?
They want my fucking hut.
They just want your hut.
They want my hut. And also, even if the town doesn't really trust or probably very much like her, she feels that she has to protect them.
Okay.
Like, she was sent here for some reason. I didn't really figure it out, but she's here for a reason, and these bandits are just going to get in the way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we just cut right into the moment here. You know, Fatir is in the village. What are the headmen? Chief in his longhouse. He hears the chief is talking about how they've only got weeks of supplies left in the village, and unless a shipment makes unless a caravan makes it through the through the pass and makes it up to us, that we're just gonna starve to death because there's not enough food to support the whole village here. At that point, I imagine, that's when you come in, because I would like to go ahead and get our meeting out of the way so we can swear our vow and get moving.
Well, she's probably been standing in the corner, and she'd come in. Yeah, she'd probably make herself known.
Fatir hasn't noticed you this whole time, and you look creepy, and you got your bone necklaces and all this stuff on. He's like, ugh!
Obviously, she's wearing furs, and she's got layers.
Be gone, witch! They can't see that.
I know they can, but you can, so freak out.
Yeah.
I am not a witch, but I will curse you if you call me one again.
If it walks like a witch and talks like a witch.
She's gonna pull out a chicken head and just kind of rattle it at you.
He takes a quick step back. He's like, no. And the chief's like, we don't have time for this. What are we gonna do about this? Our warden is gone, and these bandits are threatening to destroy us all.
And I'm here to help get rid of those bandits.
What do you care? This isn't your town.
No, but they are bothering me out in my hut.
We're not really in a position to say no to help. And Fatir's glowering. He's like, I don't like it. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. But he can't argue with it. He can't fight a whole tribe of bandits on his own. And so, knowing that the village is going to be destroyed if we don't help, obviously at this point we're going to swear an iron vow to
rid the town of bandits.
So, the way that the swear an iron vow move works in Ironsworn, when you're playing with multiple people, one person in the group will make the vow. It's a plus heart move, so whoever has the highest heart is probably your best bet to make it. Anyone else can make. We both suck at heart. That is factual. Failing that, though, even though only one of us makes the move, whoever doesn't make it can make an aid your ally move to improve our odds of getting a strong hit and getting off to a good start on our quest. So, who's making the vow?
You should probably make the vow since you're more bonded to this village.
That is true, and it's true. And if I make this vow to a person or community with whom I share a bond, I can add +1. It makes sense that I do have a bond here, so I'll get at least +1 for that. Do you want to try and secure an advantage to aid your ally?
Sure.
Okay. How are you, in the fiction, how are you aiding our quest? Or the making of this vow? Like, what do you contribute here? It would default to plus heart, because that's what the main move is. And, we could just be swearing together, and that's fine.
That works.
Okay. So the secure an advantage move. Go ahead and roll for me plus heart.
So I'm rolling 2d10.
Just hit pound R.
Stat 1.
Okay, so our challenge dice come out with a pair of 2s. Lisa rolls a 5 with a +1 for her heart, and gets a strong hit right off the bat. Now, when the challenge dice come up a match, that means that there's something, because we succeeded, something unusually beneficial, some real some fringe benefit here. Do you have any ideas what that might be, since it was your move?
An avalanche happens and takes out one of the bandit camps?
That has nothing to do with making a vow.
I don't know.
Maybe the spirit that you serve looks with kindness on our quest and is willing to help.
Papa Legba.
Yeah, because you swore so hard.
That's why I was in the village. She's learning your language.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. So because of that, you can choose to either give me a boost to my momentum or just a +1 on my next roll, which would make sense here.
+1 to your roll.
Got it.
Mr. Bigglesworth, stop. Ow. Fuck. God damn it. Ow. Ow. She wanted attention.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my challenge roll as well. I am swearing a vow, which is plus heart. And I'm adding 1 for my bond with the community and 1 from Lisa's secure and advantage roll. Okay, so we got a 1 and a 9 on the challenge dice, and I got a 6 +1 +1 +1, which is 9. The challenge dice win ties, so this is a weak hit. And the rules say when you swear an iron vow, on a weak hit, you are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. I take 1 momentum, and then we envision what we do to find a path forward. To me, I'm thinking maybe we need to find out where these bandits are based out of, so we can kind of hunt them in their homes, pull them out by the root. Do you have any ideas, Lisa?
No. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so I'll take my +1 momentum, and that moves up. And we'll talk about momentum if we have to burn it, when we have to burn it. Yeah. So yeah, I figure, where do we go from here? We're just gonna go down to the pass and just see if we can get ambushed.
I guess.
I mean, if we can get a hold of one, maybe we can get some answers.
You have a tracking dog.
What do I have to track with? Yeah, Fenris was built with the gather information. Sharp is the name of the asset.
Or I could always use my tracking knowledge.
Right, but we need to have a place to start tracking.
They're raiding our village.
Have they actually attacked the village?
They probably came close. They fuck up my hut all the time.
Okay, we'll go to your hut. There we go. Okay, so we're out here at your hut. It's a creepy and dismal place.
No, it is a normal hut surrounded by a horseshoe of rocks where it's strategically placed so that she can keep the front end defended and then the back is really hard to get to.
And what are those hanging from the roof? What kind of dead animals are those?
Possums.
Where did you find possums at the top of a mountain?
Internet. Obviously, I have animals that I bring with me from my travels.
Are they alive?
No, they are not alive.
Okay, just checking.
Since nobody can see it, I am playing with a possum pelt right now.
This is all getting edited out. Anyway, we've arrived at your hut right outside of the village. It's dismal and creepy.
It's not dismal and creepy. It's normal. It's a nice place.
You say as you put the possum skin on your head. Anyway, so where do we go from here? We've got. I'm sure you could track them with your woodcraft. I might be able to get a sense.
I was thinking scouting or tracking because woodcraft I don't know has much do with it?
Woodcraft is hunting and tracking and things.
I guess. I'll put the pelt away.
So how do we, in the fiction here, what are we doing? Like, I mean, do you know which way they normally come from? Do you,
well,
are there
obviously,
just footprints all over the place?
I know where I go and where I don't go. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to find one of those little ruts, and I'm going to grab your dog by its collar and shove his face into the snow.
Witch, what are you doing to my dog? And then there's this awkward silence where you're just looking, like the outcast is just looking at me like, will you stop calling me witch?
She's giving you the evil eye, but she says,
"Oh, malocchio." It's Italian. That's what the evil eye is called. Never mind. Not relevant.
I'm making him sniff so he can track.
Okay, I will gather information using my hound's keen senses.
Do you want me to roll to aid?
You can roll an aid here. You're using your tracking skills first to try and figure out the path.
And that's edge?
You gather information with wits. Okay, so the challenge dice here came up with a 5 and a 10. The action die came up with a 3 and then adds 1 for wits. It actually adds 2 because of your ranger ability.
Ah.
It's still a miss though because the challenge dice went dice.
Yeah.
So I know this move very well. On a miss, you discover something that is really bad news for us. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. And pay the price, of course, is the generic kind of failure event. In order, we either pick the thing that makes the most sense to happen next, kind of negatively to our character. We choose one of 2 outcomes, one of which is likely and the other one is not, and then roll for it on the oracle tables. And then there's also a list in the move itself, which provides some possible outcomes. This was your miss. What do you discover that's dire? Or compromises our quest in some...
The snow's too thick, you can't get a scent.
It's not really dire. Huh. I imagine... I'm envisioning Fatir kind of walking over and he says, "Huh, what's that next to those boot prints? Those are really big paw prints. Like, what could have made those?" And he like puts his hand down. He's got big, man trash can hands, and like he puts his hand like fully in the base of the paw. He says, "That's one big wolf."
God damn it!
Whoa, PG-13. Jesus. So the bandits have a dire wolf. That's dire. You think that's dire enough? Dire. No pun intended. Yeah. So we can follow the path, but we know what's at the end of it.
Well, at least I know something about wild animals.
That's good. So I imagine we're following the dog into the along this path. Where does the path go? Is it going down toward the pass or up further up the mountain?
It's leading kind of towards the wolf's jaws. Obviously, they have bandits at both sides of our little area, and these ones are coming from the south.
Okay. So these ones are headed back towards the entrance to town. Of course, we know nobody goes up on the mountain because you get eaten by the firstborn.
Right.
But that's a story that hasn't happened to us yet. Yeah. I am going to go ahead and update my character sheet and add my vow.
Go ahead, mine as well.
You definitely can.
My vow is to that I vow to put 3 hexes on Fatir before we get through. Wow, I've never seen anybody whip around to look at me that fast before.
Please do not curse Fatir. I like Fatir.
I will aid in ridding.
You can use the exact same vow if you want, and then we share a progress track.
Okay.
Or very close vows. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to say this is a dangerous vow.
Probably for the best, considering last time we almost died
That was a dangerous vow too.
several times.
But dangerous turns into extreme real quickly whenever a primordial gets involved. That's from the Ironsworn Foes chapter. And they're terrifying vestiges of the old gods. It was not pretty.
It also gets really fucked up when Burn Somebody shows up.
That's true. Just pull out your drawing tablet to draw that mark.
Maybe. Do not judge me.
I'm no judgment. Okay. So we've got a plan. We're heading down toward the jaws, tracking this animal. It's probably not far enough to count as undertaking a journey. I imagine we're still kind of in the local area of our village that we know pretty well, and it's summer. Where does it lead us? Where do you think it takes us? Down toward the jaws. They've got to be hiding somewhere.
I imagine that there's probably a cave.
Mm-hmm.
It could be hidden behind like brush and such.
Sure.
So it's not easily like noticed, but I'd imagine it would be a cave probably big enough that the firstborn carved out even.
Sure.
For a whole encampment to fit in.
The firstborn, by the way, in our setting have so far shown up as being kind of akin to White Walkers. They're spooky and bad.
I would almost say that they're more like snow elves.
They had the spooky...
Like the Falkier.
They had zombie children.
Zombie children who died during the spring started to rot, had maggots, and then froze, and the maggots froze with them.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah, I love them. They are some of my favorite characters.
Right. Yeah, so it leads us to the mouth of this cave. Probably there's guards posted.